everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the Julius Baer Championship, Challenger Championship. Sorry, my name is Pepe in Cuenca and I'm very happy to be here with Judit Polgar. How are you?
Fine, I'm happy to be here. Now we are live from Israel, not online as we are usually doing on the online events, right?
Right, we are in Tel Aviv, such a beautiful city, right?
Exactly, and we have a very beautiful playing hall for the players. And we have great talents who just started out already with the first game. We can see that it's Rai Lopez, just in a second we see on the board already. And they play very fast. White is playing Pranav. He's the winner of the Julius Baer Challenger Chess Tour from 2022. And Pragnananda is the winner from 2021.
Exactly, and Pragnananda already close to 2,700, Judith. And,
Hear us.
they can hear us, maybe. And what is this line, D4?
It looks very promising for white, I believe. Or at least I would be very happy to play it with white.
Because you have the center, right?
Yeah, of course D5 will be the next move. I'm pretty sure about that.
Otherwise D5 is coming, right?
Otherwise D5 would gain so much space from white end.
And now maybe E5?
Yeah,
Just creating this majority there.
I believe that E5 is kind of a logical reply because white does not want to allow black capturing on E4, and then this is going to be an isolated pawn. At the same time, white should play somehow very energetically. Still none of the players castled, which will happen shortly, I'm pretty sure.
So hello out there to everybody in the chat. Let's talk about the format. We have 4 matches, 2 rapid matches. Today's match number 1, 3 rapid games, right? And the time control is 10 minutes plus 5 seconds increment for each player. And then the day 2 is going to be the same. And then on day 3, we have 2 blitz matches, 4 games, right, Judith? And then we have 5 minutes plus 2 seconds increment for each player. So player needs to win at least 2.5 matches, and if they tie 2 versus 2, we go for an Armageddon. 5 minutes for white and 4 minutes for black.
Yes, and it is a very interesting way of setting up these matches, I believe, and this is what happens with the Play Magnus group. They always look for some new alternative, making the chess more exciting, more refreshing for the players also. And of course the 2 gentlemen we see playing, they're just 16 years old, they're babies.
Exactly.
I have my daughter 16 and my son 18. Though I have to say that when I was 16 I played already quite well as well.
I know. Not for me.
And we see that the E5 was not played, but actually castle was played, giving the opportunity for black to exchange on the center, d takes e4, knight e4, castle, and h3, a typical move against the possibility of black playing bishop g4, right?
So what do you think about this position? Because what I see is an isolated pawn structure where white has this pawn on d4, and then this could be like risky for white if some pieces are traded, right?
Exactly, white has to be somehow quite energetic. For example, knight c5 is something that I would consider maybe provoking b6. Though after that, I'm not sure I have a good spot for my knight. So after bishop f5, knight g3 can be a move. Black is going to be moving away to e6 and regroup it to d5, or going to g6. It is, I must say, I think it's more dangerous to play it with white.
Right.
And in a fast game, a rapid game like this, it's also very important what kind of position you choose and with which color it is just easier to play by intuition, right?
Right, exactly.
Because if we take off several pieces, like we exchange the bishop on a4 to bishop on f5, or even one knight, these ones, then black is simply having a nicer position. Black queen will be blockading queen d5, rook d8, and this pawn on d4 definitely going to be a weak spot. So this is something white really has to be look after. Rook e1.
They already played rook e1 and h6. I was going to ask you, could I take on e4? I know it's not maybe a very natural move, but I just wanted to take on e4 and then play something like knight b4.
You want to go the very simplifying positional way, right? You just keep it in mind that the d4 pawn will be a weak spot in the white's camp.
Right, but then my idea was to go knight b4, but maybe queen b3 is a little bit annoying there because the b7
yeah,
pawn.
it can be concrete, but time is a very important element in this kind of position, I believe. But it's interesting that h6 was played, though maybe it's early to simplify, because what is white going to be playing? It can be exchanged anywhere. Rook c1 is a good move. It's definitely a place for the rook where it should be standing.
Semi-open file, putting pressure against c6 and c7. And now how to proceed with the black pieces, because it's not easy to connect the rooks. For example, I would love to go queen d7, but then knight c5 comes.
Exactly. This is something black has to be careful on. So black can consider to play queen d5, but actually now bishop e4 happened. So after all, the e4 knight was eliminated. The question is whether did black needed h6 or not, whether this inclusion in the game, h6 and rook c1, whether does it favor white or black, it's a question. But maybe it doesn't really matter. h6 shouldn't be bad.
You give some pressure to the king, you cover the g5 square.
Exactly. Though now the question is whether is black going to go queen d5, centralizing his queen, white can go queen e2.
The a2 pawn is in the air, right? And some lines. I know it's very risky.
Oh, I was not paying attention on that one.
I love pawns for free, Judith, so sometimes I eat too much, but you know, pawn is a pawn.
Yeah, I understand, but maybe I would just go bishop c2 on e7. It's hanging.
Right. For example, let's put some
of tactical things.
Nice tactics. If, for example, I take on b2, what's going on? Because the rook on c1 is hanging.
Well, you're really greedy.
Yeah, I am, because I wanted to go rook e7 and then bishop h7, but
what about rook c1
and queen c3?
Queen c3. Maybe rook e3.
Oh, queen
and
e5.
then you have to move away, and then I take on e7.
Okay.
I guess it should be okay for white, but queen d6 was in the game.
Right. That's also a nice square for the queen.
Yes, because it's the developing move at the same time as defending the knight on e7, so it makes a lot of sense. And of course, black is ready to play rook d8, bringing the rook to the open file, semi-open file.
Right.
Queen e2 is something to kind of a natural move. But also knight e5, you know?
Knight e5, and if I take, would you want to take with the pawn, I guess?
Oh yeah, I want to get rid of this
the isolated pawn.
Oh yeah, in the first opportunity I will take, because I will not have much opportunities later on.
Right, and how about that endgame? If I take on d1 and then play rook d8, you play rook d4 and then you get the d file?
Exactly, I would not exchange, but go rook d4.
Right. And
exchange, and then white has a little upper hand.
Feeling some pressure here. Rook d7 is coming, right?
Yeah. That is not something very funny for black. But this is not what black is going to do, right? After knight e5.
Right, there's no need to take on e5.
Well, there is a way of playing knight b4. It's kind of a logical
right, if I manage to bring...
way.
That's why he played a3. Look at that. Instead of knight e5. He wants to control the b4 square. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, but after rook d8, you will not be able maybe to play knight e5 because it can be taken on d4 or not. Because
knight
maybe
d7.
Knight d7.
Beautiful.
And then this can be trouble for black. It can be the case. Right?
So queen c2 has been played after rook d8, no knight e5.
Which means that the knight is defending on d4 and it will not be able to move for some time.
Right. And somehow it's tricky to move for black now.
Well, this knight cannot move. Well, a3 was played, but also the c7 is under attack, so it cannot make a move.
Same story with the e7 knight, right? Because c6 is hanging.
Exactly. Now this is not possible. So white, it seems like he really wants to provoke black playing b5, which I doubt that it will ever happen, because after b5 there are weaknesses, and then there are a lot of issues for black. So queen f6.
Queen f6. Now d4 is under attack.
Well, it's under attack, but it's not so awful for white, I guess.
Right.
What about playing bishop c6, knight c6, and going knight e5?
Knight e5. So what happens with my d4 pawn? Am I blind, or I can just take it?
I just wanted to go queen c7. I don't know if it makes enough sense.
Maybe, yeah, b7.
Well, knight d7 can be possibly a threat, though my rook on e4 is not protected. So what other alternatives we have
Queen
here?
f5, I was thinking there. So the question is, should we protect the d4 pawn or just ignore the threat? For example, something
Queen
like
c3?
Queen c3 or Queen c5.
Queen c5. I
Then
think
rook
black
d5.
or rook d5 or rook d6 also makes sense, and after that to go double the rook on the d5. I mean, white has to be careful very much, I think, to not allow too much space for the black pieces.
I never understood isolated pawn structures.
I played the Panov in the Caro-Kann that I played, and I was pretty good. But in those positions, you have to be very energetic, very dynamic. So you have to make always sure that there are some tactics which bothers the opponent. When it comes to positional play, it's not white who is in a favorable situation.
Exactly.
Rook e1.
Rook e1, putting more pressure against e7 and c6. So now it's actually impossible to take on d4 because the knight on e7 is hanging.
Exactly.
Right?
And also it's kind of tricky because these two knights are tied to each other. So either of them makes a move, the other one is going to be taken in a very good circumstances from white side.
We could say that Pranav is putting good pressure here? Or?
Well, so far so good, but I'm curious what's going to be after rook d6, let's say. And then black is going to be doubling the d8. But the position is very tight.
Right. I was about to blunder a piece in one move. I was thinking about queen c4, but then that runs into b5.
Well, yeah, you're provoking b5, but not this way.
Too much. That's too much.
Exactly.
So can I insist on going against the e7 knight, queen e2, but then I don't have enough pressure against c6.
After already the knight can go
Right.
knight d5, and the
Right.
c6 is extremely well protected.
Right.
Okay, so rook d6 is on the board.
Okay, guys, out there in the chat, who would you take here in this position, white or black, and why?
Which one would you take?
That's a good question. I always want to play against the isolated pawn.
pawn. So you prefer black. You
Yeah.
take Prague.
I'll take black in this position, but I have
It's a
mixed
good
feelings.
question. What is the evaluation of this position, though? I
Right.
think it's pretty balanced.
That's the
Also
most
now-
difficult part in chess, to evaluate, just to evaluate
What
the
about
position.
taking on c6? I always come back
You
to
want
the
to
same
take
thing.
that knight all the time, yeah?
And then knight e5, but I think it should be
Somehow
early because you just go rook d8, and I will be in trouble.
C6 is well protected.
So no, this would be a blunder.
Ooh, rook e8, mate, so I have to take...
That's a blunder.
mate.
So maybe this is not so obvious that it's.
Okay,
It
but
can
how
work.
about if I just take, for example, on d4 with the rook?
You take with the rook. I take knight c6.
Yeah, bc, I guess.
Do you like your pawn structure?
I don't like it, but I like
I
pawns.
understand. Yes. Okay. So this
And
is
then
pretty
queen
balanced.
b2,
Yeah.
I guess
okay,
should
it's
be
queen
equal,
is-
yeah?
Yeah. It's roughly equal. So after rook d6, the players went down over 5 minutes. So it's getting into a blitz game
Right.
from the rapid. So knight e5 is something to consider. Then there's another question: what happens? Let's say.
So is black threatening to go here knight d5?
Well, knight d5
If I manage
is
to play knight
sensible.
d5 and then bring the other knight to e7 and then play c6,
But you know, I think knight d5 would not be necessarily so good because then I go knight e5.
knight e5, right?
So
Yeah.
if let's say,
Always the
okay, I
d7
just,
trick.
well, I just want to make a move to show it.
Rook
Let's say
e2.
rook e2. If knight d5, I think I would go knight to e5. Okay, now because
now
rook
knight
e2,
f4.
knight f4 is possible. But the main idea, what we want to point out and highlight, that the knight cannot move away because of knight d7.
Right.
But let's go back. So rook e2 you don't want to play. The queen on c2 I like because of this idea that sometimes rook e8 after the knight moves away.
He went for knight e5 straight away. Direct
Okay,
chess.
knight e5.
So now there are many alternatives. Well, rook d4 is a possibility,
Rook d4 is not a possibility because maybe.
then knight
or
c6,
it
knight
is.
c6.
No, knight c6, bishop c6.
It's the same line, yeah?
It's the
It's
same.
the same line.
It's not only that after knight c6, rook e4 is also possible.
Right.
So it's no big deal. So rook d4.
Rook
No,
d4.
but rook d4, maybe white takes, and then queen c7.
Yeah.
Or even queen goes to c3 or d3 and then knight d7.
Knight
But
d7.
maybe just take,
Just
after all.
Just grab the fruit. Yeah, that looks very bad
I'm
for
seeing
black.
some interesting idea. What about knight d7?
Ooh, knight takes e2, knight f6.
After that takes and rook
And then
e7,
rook e7.
and suddenly in a very good circumstances the end game for white.
So the other alternative?
And if the queen goes away somewhere, then queen e4.
And then pressure against e7 and f8.
Well, everything is hanging, it seems. And rook e8 is not possible to knight f6. Okay, so there are some dangers for black. After knight e5.
Also knight d4 straight away should be considered, but then I guess queen c7 once again
Oh yeah.
is very
And then knight d7
tricky for black, yeah? So many threats. Knight g4, knight d7.
Yeah, there are a lot of unpleasantness in this position.
So then what do we play, Judith? We cannot take on d4. We just need to wait? Maybe rook d8 or something?
What about, no, the problem is rook d8 is losing because of the checkmate
Yeah,
idea.
once again,
Oh,
I
rook
blundered
e8.
the
I
same
told
trick
you this queen on
twice
c2
already.
is really standing exceptionally well, covering that.
B5.
And finally b5, the provocation worked.
Right.
But this is a whole different kind of story. But let's see what happens on what he has an idea after knight d4.
Right. Because now, of course, this is a different
But
story. He
rook
took
d4.
with the rook on d4.
Rook d4. I don't know, something knight f7. I want to take knight f7 so much, but is it working?
Rook f7.
What happens? Rook f7 and something rook e6?
Wow. Beautiful.
The temptation is so big, you know, to take on f7.
Where should my queen go? To g5, to f4?
Maybe, well, queen f4,
But
I
then
can
rook
go
e7,
rook
and then followed by rook e7.
Takes.
That's just winning.
Rook c4. Nothing is
Last
so
trick.
easy, never. Takes. And rook e4, so white is a pawn up, right? Grabbing the pawn on c4.
Finally, after all this crazy line, you just want to go positional and then take the pawn
And
then
don't forget
better
that
structure.
they're playing blitz now. Prag has less than 3 minutes, while Pranav is a little bit better in time. But it's very difficult to make calculation in this position.
Can I play something like knight g4?
Knight g4, queen d6.
Queen d6, only move.
And I think black is holding.
Right. Looks like.
It looks like quite okay for black, and let's face it, it's a pawn up for black, so white has to be careful also.
So maybe knight f7 is the only decent try here, followed by rook e6.
Okay, so let's see again. Knight
Let's
f7.
try to understand.
If rook e4, I believe white is just... it's not so simple because knight d6, rook c4.
Same idea.
Right, so after rook e4, it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's very tricky.
So queen e4, rook f7, and black looks fine.
Knight g5.
And
And-
queen h7 mate.
There is
This queen on
another,
c2 is doing the job all the
I
time.
told you that queen on c2 is the place for the queen in this position, especially in a blitz game.
I want to remove that queen from the board.
Knight
you know?
g4 is on the board. So
Okay.
what Pranav has in mind after queen d6? What can
Good
he
question.
have in mind?
I don't see any tricks.
There should be something. Well, actually,
wanted
there
to
is
go-
an option to go.
Can I go? I want to go something crazy like rook e6 or something, but
Well, we are acting like it's not our pieces,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
So we can just
so let
go
me blunder.
for
Let me
it.
blunder happily.
I like rook e6. I like rook e6. Wow,
And then rook takes.
it's a neat move. Though I don't know what
Yeah, what
happens.
happens
What
if
is
we
this
just take?
position? Yeah,
Right.
let's say
And king h8.
because black seems pretty safe, covering the e5 square, covering g6 square with the knights.
Right.
h7 is far away, though.
Yeah,
You can go bishop a2 and bishop b1,
Mm-hmm.
trying to give some checkmate.
No, he went for queen to g5 instead of
g5.
queen d6. And only 2 minutes for both of them.
So what's next with white?
Can I push f4?
Well, queen g5 is a provocation, but what about queen h4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I don't see how white is going to be going forward. So let's see what else.
What else can we play here?
What about
d4,
rook takes?
Rook takes, knight takes.
Rook e5.
Oof. Queen h4.
G.
g3, queen
G3,
takes, yeah?
Queen h3, yeah. Okay, so after
Somehow.
queen h4. No. It was a sacrifice, but
Yeah. Now how to get the
black
material
takes
back,
it.
yeah?
Yeah. Bagging. So queen g5, what can white do?
Rook takes d4 and queen c7. Yeah, I was checking this
Okay.
line, but looks very equal.
Well,
Knight takes
it's still
b3.
better than to have a pawn down,
Right, right.
Okay, and now white is behind in time.
I guess you cannot take on b3.
Such a beautiful knight on d4, don't you think so?
Yeah, I don't want to take on b3, just not to leave that square.
Knight g6. Knight g6, but okay.
Well, now
So-
h5 is coming as well, knight f4, or
Yeah.
knight h4, and then you have some decent attacking chances over there.
Yeah, this bishop is a little bit unfortunately standing
Right.
there.
And Pranav only has 1 minute in the clock, so
Under a minute now.
right. h5 coming, the knight on d4 is a beast as well.
Yeah, this is
I like it.
And unfortunately for white, he cannot take on f7.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot take. Well, bishop on a2. It
No.
can come to b1 at some point.
H5.
h5 is
Pre-move.
there. And I would want to go rook e8 in some way or
No
another.
time. Or maybe.
But so far, no, I think white has no time at all. Even you just can take
Just
it
take and then
takes, goes out, h2,
the king escapes
g4,
via
and, yeah,
h6. No problem.
yeah, there is an escape route for black.
So I guess you have to go back to e3, but then
No, knight e3, knight f3
oh,
would be gone. So
then
queen c3 was played.
can I go rook g8? I don't want to abandon that square.
Yeah, you want to keep the knight on
right.
d4.
So to keep the
Any
threats.
means, by any means, you want to have that rook
Exactly.
on d8, knight on d4.
So now knight e3 once again runs into knight f3, and then the knight comes
well,
to f4,
this is not looking so good.
We
Knight
have
f4.
and then knight
Huge
e2 tricks.
advantage. Huge problems on those
Oof.
squares. So let's see what kind
Tactics.
of saving moves after rook d8.
Maybe we're not seeing something because Prag doesn't want to play this move, at least till now.
Queen e3. Queen
Ooh.
e3 can be a move.
Simplification. But
Yeah.
knight f4?
Knight f4.
Then knight
Well,
c2
it's
is
not,
also coming.
it's not only that, I mean, he wants to be careful choosing
d8.
the right move,
Right?
because he understands that there are going to be seconds on the clock very shortly. And I think he also probably feels that he can take already the upper hand in this position.
Right.
Because it, again, it is a position which is much more difficult to play it with white. Just by the situation. Maybe it's already worse anyway.
Right.
But generally speaking, you have your knight on d4, you're attacking the g4 knight, rook e4 intermediate
e4.
move.
Can I go knight f4 now?
Knight f4.
So you can never take on d4 because of the fork on e2. Looks nice at least.
Well, the queen has to move away, I guess. But queen c7 maybe.
But this is not just a knight e2.
Somehow, well, I
counterplay
think
against
maybe you
f7.
can just take
He
it.
did it. He played knight f4 and now
Queen
16
e3.
queen e3.
Queen e3, but what is queen e3? takes on g4.
Takes on g4, just winning. Yeah, because you can never take
because of
on
knight
f4.
e2 at the end.
Same trick.
And the piece was taken.
Yeah, and now troubles for Pranav.
What?
Bishop f7.
Bishop f7.
Desperation measures.
It's a nice, actually it's a very nice try. The only problem is king h7.
And 6 seconds for Pranav.
He's going to
gotta hurry.
take, wow, king h2. Threatening to take on f4.
Nice resource. So, can we just take on h3, Judit?
Takes.
With the
Oh
wow.
no, knight f3 and?
Knight f3.
But what about
What's
knight
going on?
f3 and takes g takes h? Ooh.
Wow, beautiful. Mate on g2. Fantastic finish.
And you know, this is what I've seen with Prague's games.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see some later. That he's an incredible guy who wins the winning positions. And look, knight f3. It was not the only win, I believe, but it was the most clear cut. Well,
And you see the players over there, they are so elegant.
yeah, they are young gentlemen there. It was a good start from Pragnananda, we see. And actually, Pragnananda is clearly the favorite, right?
Right.
I mean, they are in the same age, but if we look at the rating points, Pragnananda is already getting close to 2700, while Pranav is only 2545, and these are the classical ratings.
Right.
In rapid rating and blitz, Prague, I think he's a little bit less than, I have it here. Like
You have your notes.
Yeah, Pranav has 2400, 2430 in rapid and blitz, while...
But that's probably not realistic, yeah? Anyway.
Well, it is very difficult, I think, to figure out what is the real strengths
Right.
for the players.
Because they're
in
improving so
blitz.
fast, you know, with this age.
Yes, and generally speaking, I don't think there are enough tournaments in blitz and
measure.
rapid and classical, and it also depends very much how seriously are you taking it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of a tricky way of measuring blitz and rapid ratings. But you can see that, of course, the Indian talents are incredible. I mean, really, in the Olympiad in Chennai, we were, well, you were not there. You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. We just didn't make the
I was the
commentary
coach of
together.
Puerto Rico.
Yes. Yes. So we could feel very much how the whole India as a country, from chess point of view, is boiling. It's like
Exactly.
it's a powerhouse of chess, as it was back in Soviet Union, I can say. That they are every
There's so
week.
much support from the fans as well, you know, it's like a national sport. Like since Vichy,
Yes, yes. Vichy is a great
Did a lot
role
for the game
model, and
of it.
he's a very nice personality who gives all these emotional but also chess support for the talented youngsters, girls and boys, just as well. And so, if we go back in this position, we just go back. We'll have quite some time before the next game. If we go back, what do you think? Which were the crucial what was the crucial mistake for White? This is what I'm curious, because I think here after b5, it was quite okay. But this is a question. This is a big question.
maybe this
whether
knight
this
g4.
pawn sacrifice, was it justified or no? We were looking knight f7. Did that work? Not really.
Knight f7, rook f7, rook e6. We were analyzing.
Yeah, takes, rook e6.
At least looks sort of equal, right? After taking on c6, taking on f7, and then taking back on c6 once again.
What about queen h4 or queen f4?
Queen f4, we were saying rook e7 in this position,
We said
right?
rook e7, so I try queen h4.
And here at least, I guess you can take on c6.
Takes.
And then-
Oh.
Did I blunder something once again?
Actually, we blundered with after queen f4 because black, it's mate.
Once again, the queen on
Yeah,
c2 unit.
we
Like,
find all the way. So, just for everybody who wants to play similar positions,
Yeah,
have your queen on
C2.
c2. Don't forget that. You have to have the queen on c2. It can never go wrong with that.
Right.
Queen is just perfectly standing, controlling that diagonal, and at the same time putting pressure on the c5.
Then is this meaning that knight f7 is winning?
No,
cannot be,
don't
right?
exaggerate that. Rook e6.
But then what do we play with the black pieces? Because queen...
Well, it was pretty clear. It came to our mind immediately that
Right.
knight f7 is the most
At least a move that you consider,
inviting move. Knight f7, rook... Okay, let's start the game with rook f7 first, right? This is what we have to start with. If queen f5 is just losing material because we're gonna take and rook e8.
yeah? Okay, I have seen an idea, I think.
Okay.
So queen
after
g5,
Queen g5.
and then rook c6. I wanted to
Oops,
go
not this.
rook d2.
Rook d2. But after rook d2, what do you mean rook
No,
d2?
bishop f7. I'm just losing. So I wanted to have my queen on f4, and then this may be working. because-
Okay, I understand your point. Queen f4.
But then rook e7, yeah?
Actually, that's what we were looking, not rook c6. But
Right.
I go rook c6.
And then I wanted to go here rook d2.
Rook d2.
In order to have some queen
But
f2.
now
Bishop
there are
f7,
some very
king
nice
h8 or something.
things. Bishop f7, king h8.
That's too
I
much.
mean,
That's too much.
queen
yeah.
c5, okay?
Okay, you protected the pawn. Yeah.
I protect the pawn from
That's
c5.
not fair. That's not fair.
And we can find another checkmate
Yeah,
opportunity
okay.
already with the queen.
Okay, you
Okay.
play the good moves, then I cannot sacrifice.
Okay, but what does this mean? That knight f7 was really...
Winning, maybe? Crazy. Do we have something else rather
Well-
than taking on f7 with a rook?
Well,
After-
after rook knight f7...
Can I go some intermediate move like rook e4 or something?
We talked about this, and then we decided knight g5 with the mate option
But
with
there's
king
no-
h7 if
yeah.
you go here. So, okay, you go king h8,
But
knight
this you
e4.
take, and
But
then-
okay, this is a wonderful position for white, I believe.
Right. Well, queen e5 here to pin, and then knight d4 next
Okay.
move or something.
Okay, I understand that you want to go knight d4. But I think there are several options for white. For example, queen c5.
That's very
Well,
annoying.
you can try to take this pawn. If
I
you
take everything.
I was sure that you will grab that. Even I would grab it, I think. I also like pawns. So because of this, instead of queen c5, what about playing bishop a2? Very prophylactical.
Bishop a2,
So
knight
after
d4.
knight d4, I go already queen c5, and then black can get in trouble,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to exchange it, and then knight c5.
Do I have to exchange?
This is
Can
hanging.
I play knight
That's
g6?
hanging.
Ah, the rook, no. Yeah, knight g6.
Yeah, knight
Everything is
g6.
protected somehow.
Okay. Knight g6 is a good move. It's a good move, but I think rook e3, for example.
Right.
And anyway, it's...
Yeah, it's white putting the one putting
it's,
pressure for sure.
Well, definitely it's not about white is having a worse position, right?
Mhm.
And this happens all the time, right? The momentum. Whether you have the intuition or you have the calculation skills,
Uh-huh.
or whether you dare to play something like knight f7. It also a question, let's say, if Pranav is playing against not 130 rating point higher opponent, but let's say he plays equal rating points,
Right.
would he have the courage to play knight f7,
Right.
right?
You have more
Because-
chances to do it if...
Yeah, but the problem is that if you don't take on f7 and he went knight g4, but maybe he missed queen g5 and maybe he was counting on queen d6, rook e6.
Right.
And this also means that sometimes, I don't know how, for us grandmasters, which move comes to mind? How does that work? Because of course in this position, to my mind, knight f7 immediately.
Pattern recognition, people say, or something?
It's pattern recognition, but the problem is that you have to calculate the lines, right? But in the Blitz game, you don't have time
You don't have
to
time, it's
calculate.
just intuition.
So you have to start first. If you start with knight g4, you blunder queen g5, and you start queen d6, rook e6, then you say, okay, I go with knight g4.
Right.
If you start your calculation with knight f7, then maybe you win the game because you started calculating knight f7.
Right. It's just
So
a
it's-
matter of... just a lottery
But
sometimes.
it's so difficult how to improve on that, right? I think it's like also a question of feeling the position,
Right.
right? to have a good sense of feeling of different kind of positions. But I mean, I was always looking positions from tactical point of view. Go first with the taking, checking,
mating the king. For
Yeah,
me, it's
but-
on the contrary. I just want to simplify the position to get some positional advantage.
Okay, so in this position, what would come to your mind first?
No,
For you, knight f7, no?
it was knight f7,
It was-
but I was not trusting it. I was not believing in
Well,
it.
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Whether you believe in your moves and attacks
Right,
or not.
right.
That's a big question. So,
So-
knight f7, we consider that.
Is it winning, really?
It's probably some balance game.
Is the knight trap over there? So if I play something like...
I think our producer is saying that it's little plus for white. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, we knew it that
Right.
knight f7 is the move. Well, now it's very annoying for Pranav if somebody tells him that knight f7 was
Yeah.
the move.
Exactly.
So hopefully he's not bumping into anybody
And then
who
you
can
said it,
tell
like
him.
in these positions you have to go energetic. Yeah.
Well, there is no way out, right? But if you think about it, after rook d4, all white's pieces are standing perfectly. You cannot find the more optimal settings for white's pieces.
Right. You have the bishop and knight targeting the f7 pawn, two rooks doubled on the e file, the queen on c2. We already saw that it's
How great it
it's
is.
very tricky
But
with all
look,
those mates.
I mean, really, the knight is standing there, but it's also the problem. If you don't see exactly why is it good, then you don't want to sacrifice it. So what do you teach, right? What
I
do
used
you
to teach
tell?
mathematics, not
But
chess.
if you teach chess, you don't teach chess.
I don't teach
If you
so
would
much
have
chess.
a student, what would you say?
Well,
Go
I
knight
will-
f7 with 5 seconds
I
on
will,
the clock?
I will tell him just compute the forcing moves first. Captures, checks,
Yeah,
and threats. So
yes.
knight f7, you have to
Yeah.
calculate it.
But if you have
And
no time,
You have
not
no
enough
time, just go for it and then and then pray.
Well, yeah. So knight f7, rook
Well,
f7,
you have to,
rook
of course, you
e6.
have to see some ideas. If you go knight f7, you have to see these ideas with the mate on e8,
But
which
don't
we
forget,
didn't see at the first glance, yeah?
But no, actually, I think we looked rook e7 first,
Right, instead of
and
rook.
instead of rook c6. Yeah, that was the problem. That it's also important whether in this position, it's a big question. Was Pranav playing for a win, or was
Or-
he ready to make a draw? Like, it's very important, I think, analyzing his decision, why he played knight g4
So
in this position.
you are the ones, Judit, one of those people that think that psychology is very important in chess, or like Bobby
Yes.
Fischer, I don't believe in psychology, just
He
in-
believes good moves.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think both. You
Both,
know?
yeah?
If you make good moves, but you pay attention on psychology, it helps a lot.
Right.
And I think chess became a different sport, you know, with the next generation who we are dealing with right here, and others also. Because I know and we know that the youngsters, they go on online and play blitz, even bullet, many of them.
Right.
And for me, it was impossible to play bullet when I was a kid. But I think it also happened
But
because
for you, what is a kid for you? Like 2 years old or something?
no, I was like 8, 10, 12 or something like that. But I think it's also because we had the classical Garde clock, which is the manual one that you had to set, and there was a flag there.
Right.
So now with digital clock, of course, that it was impossible to
It
set
was
to
very
1
unfair
minute.
at that
Yes,
time, you know?
Exactly.
You could
So
have like
now-
40 seconds and then the other
Exactly.
one 60.
Exactly. So you were not sure how much time you have and you had time trouble, let's say. But nowadays, of course, on computer or online or digital clock, you know exactly how much
Right.
time you have. But still, I don't think we would be playing bullet chess. But we played a lot of blitz games.
Okay.
Of course, no bonus time, exactly for the same reasons, because we did not have that kind of...
Did you have fights with your sisters, like in this time travel, in that time where you don't have increment, and then you're just throwing pieces
No, first of all, we did not play against each other, only
okay.
in training at home. In tournaments, we were not playing.
No, but I mean at
seriously.
home. I mean
At home, of course.
This
it
is
was
where you
for
have
blood.
fights with your brothers.
Yeah, of course. We had all these fights. We had every weekend. We had someone coming over also, some force players. So we were the three of us, and there is one more player. We made this double or 4 or 6 game of round robin. So we always play these blitz tournaments of the house. That was something very classical for us, very common to make all these things. Okay.
I also have a brother who plays chess.
Okay.
He's 21 something rated. So one year I was national champion under 18, and I was the 8th of my building because I lost against him in the quarterfinals.
I didn't know you have a brother who's also playing chess.
He plays, for fun.
Oh,
He's an engineer. He works in other things, but he
Okay,
plays
and
chess.
what level is he?
He's 21 something.
21 something.
Yeah. It's not about playing.
Okay, so he's someone who can enjoy chess very
Exactly,
much. He's
you're
on
right.
that level.
Right.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so in this game we can say that Pranav missed an opportunity, having a great chance, and actually we can say he played a good game until this point.
Right.
He
Yeah.
played very well. If we go back just a bit to the opening, he made a very important way. Like he went rook c1. Still, I believe actually maybe h6 was a waste of time.
Right. So it's just best to have
Right.
the rook on a1 and then.
Because h6 you can do when you really have extra time, right?
Right.
So a3, very nice move. Queen c2, the key in
The
this
key.
position to have the queen on
Incredibly,
c2.
yeah. Queen c2. Winning
And
move.
then rook e1, replacing it to better square. So the knight is still tied down because the c7 is attacked. Rook d6, knight e5. Well, here I was not sure, right? If knight d4 could be the move immediately. Because this b3 bishop, it can be very dangerous on
Suddenly
this
f7
diagonal.
suffers here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see also what will be in game 3 when Pranav again plays with the white pieces. And actually we prepared some position that we wanted to show.
Yes. So
Changing.
our producer is saying something to us, but we're going on
We
a short
need
break.
time to...
Short break. So we are going on a short break, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes, right?
Yes, with some great examples of Pragnananda's. How great tactician.
For
he
you
is.
to solve, yeah? Okay, guys. See you in a while.
Welcome everybody!
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot. Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
Hello everybody, I am Grandmaster David Anton Guijarro.
I'm Magnus Carlsen.
My name is Anish Giri. I am a top Grandmaster.
I'm Grandmaster Nils Grandelius from Sweden.
I am Grandmaster Harikus.
Hello everybody, we are back for this second game, and well, still some minutes, Judit, right?
Yes.
Before the game, so what are we gonna do?
So we are waiting for the second game to start, but before that I want to show some of Pragnananda's tactical vision, how how good at he is in these things. As we've seen in game one,
right.
He was exactly what he does all the time, that he has a winning position and just sharply plays the best killing move. So have you seen this position? He played this with the black pieces against Jan Krzysztof Duda in some tournament in the last 1 year, and white played rook b7.
Which makes a lot of sense for a
Which
human.
makes a lot of sense, right? Because it's on the 7th rank, everything is protected, the d1 by the queen. So it seems like black is going to be making a move with the queen. But, so we want you to think about it for a few seconds and think about the tactical option, what is given to black.
Right. Well, my coach always insisted me like forcing moves, captures, checks, and threats. And can we capture something? Can we check? In this position, we cannot check, right?
No.
And can we threaten something? And by threats, we mean mate threats or the queen, for example.
Attacking something, right?
Right.
And of course, this is also something that when you play in a game, you don't have to think whenever it's, well, when it's a check, obviously you have to react in some way, right? But when something is attacked, it's not always that you have to move away instantly. So we gave away, I think, pretty lot of hints.
Right.
So what Pragnananda played is the intermediate move, not making a move with the queen, but realizing that there is a very nice tactical idea by playing knight e5 check
to the queen.
Check to the queen. And white could not take on the e5 because rook d1 takes, and now suddenly is a great tactical opportunity for black to capture the rook on b7, and black would gain material. This is why after rook e5, white played queen d5 and simplified the position, rook d7, knight d7, but black has an extra pawn. So this was a nice tactical idea, I believe, from Prague.
Well, why do we have an extra pawn? Because, for example, after d takes e5, knight takes e5, rook d5, there is another thing that we have to explain.
Yeah, it's very good that you point this out, because now knight e4 or knight b7 and other pin. So actually these double pin happens everything on the d file, it seems, in this game. Let's go another one, which is which was a very nice game happening also. This time it was Pragnananda who was playing with the white pieces, and Karyakin was playing with the black pieces.
And that's another puzzle you can solve by using the forcing moves technique. Captures, checks, and threats.
Exactly. This is what I was saying also in my course, in my Chessable course. And in this position, it seems at first that white is having pretty lot of pawns here, hoops, on f4, e3, so it's quite a lot of pawns, but it's not enough because there is an extra knight.
And this pawn on d3.
And there is a pass pawn. Of course, the king is a little bit vulnerable, we can see, but for the moment, if white goes queen a8, king e7, it seems like black is completely safe. But what is the reality? What is the truth? The truth is not that black is in safe. So the queen is protected after king e7, right? But white can make a move to distract the queen on the 8th rank, and the queen will be won. How did that happen?
Come on, guys. You should be fast. You have 10 seconds before Judit gives a solution. Come on.
But actually,
don't be lazy.
It's a nice way of winning. And I'm not sure that Karyakin blundered or how was the previous moves. But let's see how it goes. Rook g8, giving up the rook in order that after queen g8, white can go queen a8 and capture the queen.
Yeah.
At the same time, at first I was wondering whether,
Yeah, me
okay,
Why?
okay, white has queen up, but black is going to be queening his pawn.
Right.
But after all, these pawns are not so bad, right? f5, and then let's say after the queen and f6 checkmate, we are inviting black for that. And I think after d2, f5, black is actually impossible.
And we have an user that saw the solution. Congrats, Izuru Alahakun. Sorry for my pronunciation.
Excellent.
But very good.
Very good. So we still have time to check maybe one more. That was actually another one which is not a tactical position, but I thought it's also interesting to see that in this position you think, well, black has an extra pawn, right? But white also has quite some ideas and pressure with the bishop pair. And at the same time, I think white has to be very clear on his play, because black can play knight b3 in the next move. And of course, if black can exchange those pieces, then it's really extra pawn and black is going to be better.
Right.
So Prague played the move, which was very concrete, but it's very nice, and I'm not saying that it's very easy to discover. e5, trying to push and break in the center. Of course, black does not take because bishop e5. So black went f5, and after that, white took, and now the key move is played. Because after this, I wouldn't be so happy necessarily because black can go knight e6. What a blockade, right?
Right.
But here there is a very nice move, bishop f1.
Yeah.
And white has full compensation for the pawn because it's very interesting to go and place the bishop on h3, and the f5 pawn is very weak. So this is why it is so interesting.
I was thinking, can I protect the pawn with my king arriving to e6? But then I realized that maybe rook g1 is very annoying in that position.
Well, it's not so funny for black, I believe. And also after king e6, you have a very heavy pin. You cannot move away with the knight, so that could be also a problem.
Right.
I guess. So it's interesting because it means that every player, even though they are very young, they have to have different skills, and in style also sometimes, depending on the position, you have to switch. And sometimes you have to be positional. At the same time, after bishop f1, bishop h3, it becomes tactical. I think we still have maybe to check one more example. Let's go to see another one where it was black to move.
Okay.
So Pragdananda is playing with the black pieces.
Okay, and the rook is attacked.
The rook is attacked, exactly. The king is kind of vulnerable in principle, right?
Right.
But for the moment, the rook is protecting the a1 square, the other rook protects the c3 square, and on the queen on e5 does not seem to be so deadly dangerous.
That means there are no checks with the queen? So basically we have
Not
to
yet.
do something with the rook.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, the rook is under attack, right? So you
right.
better do something about it.
Right.
The first idea would come, of course, in such a position, rook f2 comes to mind first, right? But the other move which comes to mind, the second option would be to consider rook f4.
That's right.
So my question is to our audience, what do you think? Would you calculate rook f2 first or rook f4? So this is the first question. If you are with us for some time, then you know what we think about the decision here.
Right? Forcing moves once again. Rook f2 is just a capture that you should consider all the time. Because rook f4 is not a threat in that method, because you are not threatening to win the queen, because after rook e4 you have rook e3. So
yes, so in such a position it's worth considering immediately to go rook f2, because it's something very sharp, very straightforward. Because after queen f2 there are again two options, right? So first you might be thinking rook takes f2 the queen, but there is an alternative also. which can be calculated and should be calculated, that black gives a check, intermediate check. But you can think, well, okay, but it looks good, but queen e2 and everything is protected for white, right? But there is a small check on b1 where
Not so small.
will be a problem for white, because either king d2 is played or queen d1 has happened in the game. White is losing the rook on a2, and queen f2 is a threat immediately, so black won the game. So I think this was for now, for after game one. We showed some of nice tactical ideas by Pragnananda, so we can go back to the second game, because we are going to be starting just in a few minutes. Pragnananda playing with the white color.
Right, so at what time do we start the game, the second game?
It's in 5 minutes.
Already? In 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
Yes, we see already Pranav smiling, and we have such a beautiful setup. But I was wondering that when I was playing still 8 years ago, when I retired in Tromsø in the chess Olympiad, obviously I was playing chess games having the chess board between myself and my opponent. And nowadays, as everything in life is changing, it has new fashion, new ideas.
You have 2 computers, headphones.
Yeah.
What is
I
this?
would be wondering if we can get information about the fact what are they listening on the headphones, or is it only sound cancellation?
Maybe. It is allowed to listen to music? It is. So maybe they're
But it's
listening
interesting.
some salsa.
Do you ever listen music while you're preparing?
Yes, all the time. All the
And
time.
what kind of music?
Like Latin music, you
Latin
know,
music,
salsa, reggaeton,
Okay.
bachata,
Okay, so something nice, dynamic.
also rap,
Okay,
hip hop.
Okay.
I like that.
I was listening classical.
Classical
like
music.
Tchaikovsky, but also
That's very good
sometimes-
to get relaxed, you know. But for me, to get some motivation, I need something stronger. You know?
Okay.
So I was listening classical music when I was studying at the university, but for chess, I need something more energetic.
Okay. I'm wondering what kind of music these guys are listening, because, and of course in classical tournaments, when you, I mean, it's not going, right? Anything, any music. It was funny, once I was playing a simultaneous exhibition in the Palace of Art in Budapest at the festival I'm organizing. And I have a friend, Ivan Fischer, who is a pretty known conductor.
Okay.
And he's a good chess player, by the way. He knows openings and so on. And in the background, we had this music of classical music. And then suddenly he's playing, and said, "No, I cannot play this way. There's classical music going on." So they had to switch off from this whole building. He said, "No, I cannot concentrate this way."
But for example, Nakamura, he loves playing while listening to music. He's moving all the time like this and dancing.
Okay, but he can do that only on the online events,
Yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
So the players took their seats, front of their computers, and have their headphones ready for game 2. But I saw Pragnananda before the game. He was a little bit nervous. He's here with his mother.
Right.
And Pranav is here with his father. So there is a full family support.
Were you traveling with your parents when you were a player? Or?
Absolutely. Well, we were traveling the family for a long time until I was age 12. And then after the Olympiad in '88, I was 12 and a half. I made a great performance.
Yeah.
And after that, I started to go separately also
Okay.
to tournaments. So what do we see? Queen's Gambit? Queen's Indian, sorry.
Queen's Indian, Bogo India
Yeah.
with Bishop B4.
Yeah, let's see. Okay,
Queen's Indian.
Queen's Indian.
And A3.
B6, A3, Bishop A6. I was playing this with the black pieces, still in my times when I was competing. Queen C2, E4.
Now the threat
next
is
move.
E4, right? Occupying the
Absolutely.
center.
That's why Bishop B7 is played. So everything is happening around the center. E4, C takes D4, Knight D4, Bishop C5 or Knight C6.
This is some sort of hedgehog, but now with the knight on C6.
Let's see how are they going to sharpen out this position. Is black really thinking about taking with the pawn? No way.
No.
No way.
Bishop f4. I like this move, going after the d6 square, which is weak now.
Yeah, I guess black is not playing d6 for the moment. Black likes to come out with the bishop on c5.
Bishop c5.
Play rook c8.
Bishop e7. Maybe a little bit passive, but... So white's plan is clear, right? I want to go rook d1, bishop b2, short castle.
I don't know, isn't the position where white can also castle long? I wouldn't be surprised if we would see something like that. After all, it's a rapid game. Actually, I wonder how seriously these youngsters take rapid, blitz, and classical. Are they taking it as seriously already, a rapid game?
I don't think so, because you have a few tournaments in a year. Only a few tournaments.
But I think it's changing. Actually, d6 was played. I said, no, d6 we don't play in this position. Well, maybe not me.
And I really like your idea about going long castle.
We should go long castle.
Long castle, and then e5 is a threat.
Let's have fun. Yeah, long castle and go e5.
Well, still some knight h5 ideas. But
and of course, at some point to play g4.
f3, g4.
Sometimes
sort of English attack,
g4,
but
without
with
f3.
a Maroxibin strange mixed, but...
So you think Prague will play long castle?
Long castle, I guess queen c7 is the move.
Queen c7.
Just to stop.
I think king b1,
King b1
makes sense.
I always like to have this king over
eventually
there.
you have to go king b1,
Right.
whatever. The only question is that whether white plays f3 first.
If you guys don't know what to do, if you have castle alongside, just play king b1 and then think about the next moves.
Again, we see queen on c2.
Prophylaxis. Yeah, that queen is going to create some disaster.
Different ideas compared to the previous game. And we have long castle on the board.
We have a party here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Actually, I don't see danger for white.
Because
long
b5
castle.
is very tough to achieve, right?
b5.
You have 3 pieces controlling that square, so...
It's like everything is controlling that, right? And also the f4 bishop is standing very well. So after possibly, whenever b5 is in the air, c5 can be also played. Queen c7. So now, whether king b1 now or later, and now white would play f3.
f3, g4, h4.
Also, bishop e2 might be interesting, connecting the rooks. I would also consider bishop e2, but for sure
I will first play king b1 and then think.
Yeah, I understand you that you want to go put your king into safety.
The lazy way to play.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's the experienced way that you know that one day it's just better to have it there.
Right.
And at this point, you can still manage with time to put your king on b1.
How is black going to play? Like black is going to, I believe, play bishop e7, short castle.
Okay, let's go for it, right? Bishop e2, castle.
And then g4 straight away?
g4.
There we go.
I'm a little bit worried for black's counterplay. This is the big question I have.
You're remaining very passive there on the 6th and 7th rank. White's plan is very clear, g5, h4, h5.
So am I not mistaken if I say you prefer to play it with the white side?
Exactly. f3.
f3. No, we are dealing with youngsters, teenagers. They don't waste time with king b1.
Right. Going for the action immediately.
Well, and we have to say that this match contains 3 games. So this match would be finished if white would win the game 2-0, because we don't even see the 3rd game played, right? So definitely, of course, Pranav should make at least a draw in this match to be able to hold the match of today. Rook c8.
Rook c8 makes sense. He doesn't want a castle yet.
Well, there is no rush for that. Maybe he wants to go bishop bishop e7 first. Okay, king b1.
King b1,
I didn't have to wait so long for that move. Bishop e7, knight d7, but I don't know where this queen is going to be moving.
Can I try something like
G4.
queen b7, a6, b5? It's too slow, but
also
no,
the
the d6
d6
pawn, it's just a...
Knight d7, he wants to
Maybe
go probably
knight e5,
knight
that's a
e5.
plan, yeah?
Yeah, knight e5, that has to be there. But you see, if the bishop would have been on e2, then bishop e3 I would go and f4 in one move.
Because now you could have trouble defending the c4 pawn at some point. Knight e5 and then retreat the bishop somewhere, b7
But
or
I'm
d7.
not sure white has to worry so much about that pawn. Let's say bishop e2.
Yeah, knight e5, I guess.
Knight e5, bishop e3.
And then bishop b7 I cannot go because of
Well, bishop
knight b5,
knight
yeah?
b5 is very unpleasant.
So let's say bishop d7.
Bishop d7. So this is...
I mean, at least I have a target.
No, h4 is played.
h4, he doesn't care.
No, he just wants to push the pawn. So what is his idea after knight e5?
I don't know. Maybe
It's on the board.
knight e5. And now you have to do something about the c4 pawn.
Well, now the f3 is hanging
F3,
as well.
so
So
bishop
bishop
e2.
e2 is on the board.
And let's say bishop d7. Does
Bishop
he want to play
d7.
just b3? But looks very
No.
ugly, b5, yeah? And,
No, b3, my
b3
God.
looks terrible, so... But then what to play? I'm grabbing the pawn, Judith.
But maybe you would go d5 after b3.
Yeah, or b5 even, right?
No, he went a6.
a6.
a6
Yeah.
because he wants to go back bishop b7.
Right.
So the b5
Makes sense.
square should be defended.
Okay, we have to say that after bishop d7, knight c4 was still not a threat, probably because the d6 pawn is hanging. Right?
Well, I don't know.
So for example,
don't know
if I
yeah.
push, if I push g5 or
Let's say
something,
G5,
takes, and then take on d6.
Yeah,
That also looks fine for white, right?
it looks fine. Yeah, it looks nice, I believe. So bishop e2, a6. Also, at some point, maybe black wants to go queen b7 and b5.
Right. Now that we have the knight on e5 and d6 is not in the airs.
But what happens if I go bishop e3? Bishop has to move back.
Right. Otherwise f4.
Yeah, because this is
coming.
in the air.
And somehow I would love to bring a rook to c1 and then
So
play.
why don't we do it?
Right.
If you want it so much.
If you want something, go for it. Yeah.
I mean, go for it. You can go check, and after
d5,
knight b5.
Once again. Because if I manage to bring the rook to c1 and then maybe remove the queen to d2, you can never take the pawn on c4.
Well, actually, if we want to go rook c1, maybe after a6 we
Maybe
should
now,
do it
yeah.
immediately.
Maybe now, and after bishop b7, just queen d2
No.
or something.
No, we have bishop e3 on the board.
He's
It's
listening
more
to you.
logical. It's much more
You're
logical.
talking too loud. He's listening to
Because bishop e3 had to be moved away. Once the knight is on e5, you cannot do anything anymore, right?
Right.
So white wants to be ready just in case sometime to be playing f4 and push the knight away. And if the knight will be pushed back, then white has a clear advantage.
Yeah, it's too much
Clear.
space
So-
advantage, yeah?
Yeah. So black has to play really going
Bishop
back.
d7.
Or bishop d7. Yes, because of the queen a4 option.
That's very nice. So now rook c1 is not working, I believe, because of knight c4.
Well, I believe so. I would agree with you on that. So now the question is,
So
after
what to
bishop
do?
d7, what to do, yeah? Well, bishop d4 is an option to put pressure from this end. But
Yeah.
after that, black goes castle, right?
Castles, and then you don't care.
This one is still hanging.
Maybe rook c1 was a little bit more subtle, right, in that position before bishop e3.
If now rook c1, you just take on c4.
I believe.
What is also interesting in these kind of positions that white can go bishop g5 to provoke black.
To provoke f6?
But I'm not sure it's the provocation is a problem.
You can
for black
provoke me, I
because
will
then
take
you
the pawn.
Yeah, you're happy to be provoked in this situation.
So
Well, maybe c5.
queen b3 was
b3.
played.
But what is
then
this? Knight c4.
This is just okay for black, yeah? Knight c4.
But maybe there was nothing. He didn't want to play b3, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
Because after
It's very
b3,
ugly.
b5.
b5, and then the c3 knight is hanging, so
it was not possible.
But then after queen b3, I'm just getting the bishop pair after knight c4.
No, but it's not possible that he wants to exchange.
But then, what to play?
And after this, black has just a fantastic position.
But otherwise, I play b5.
And Prague has a huge disadvantage on time. Look at that, nearly 3 minutes behind in time.
So if you play, let's say, bishop d4, share castle.
Yeah.
And, you give me one more time, b5 is coming. I guess you have to take.
Yeah, but if you take on c4, takes... Well, okay, no, this is even a blunder for white, because rook c3.
Rook c3 and rook b8, wow. So, is black winning?
Well, black is not winning, but something goes very well for black.
Well, maybe it's just a pawn up. If you cannot
c4.
recapture on b6.
Well, you can take and queen b6.
Queen b6, but that looks even more dangerous.
Or to take bishop b6 because castle is not there yet.
Ah, I see.
So the rook is not on b8.
Okay.
But okay, you can go bishop f6. Also makes a lot of sense, I think. Bishop f6 or castle is an option. Yeah, but after bishop a5, well, I was thinking whether king e7
and
is
bishop
possible.
b4.
Yeah, I knew that you're going to come this way, bishop e5.
Yeah, now rook f1 or something?
Oops. Rook f1.
Maybe it's not the end of the world for Prague.
Well, here I think I did something wrong for black. So after bishop b6, what about just castle and bring the rook to b8?
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Knight c4 is taken.
Yeah.
Is taken.
And now Prague took everything.
This is what we have on the board.
And h5.
h5. I like h5. Just the idea itself. To do something on the king side. I don't know whether it benefits black.
Yeah, because now you don't have this bishop f6 idea.
f6, but maybe he wants to go f6.
Ooh. Yeah,
and this is what
that.
we have. Very interesting.
He did that. Now,
what do you think a pass pawn if white is allowing f takes g5, h g5?
And then you take
like
on
bishop
f6
e3 or something. If you take on f6.
Because now d6 is hanging as well. So I don't know if you want to allow rook takes g6 because this will take us to a opposite colored bishop endgame.
G takes f6.
G takes.
And then he has a great location for the king.
Yeah, these three pawns are controlling a lot of squares, yeah?
But of course, bishop a5, bishop b4, trying to put pressure on the d6 pawn.
Yeah, and we were analyzing this position where black was a pawn up, but now material is balanced, so...
Yeah, and if king f7, bishop b4, and if rook b8, bishop d6, attacking the rook, so rook c3 is not possible for the moment.
Maybe he missed something like this.
Well, bishop a5 is a very smart move.
Maybe I have to just go passive with rook c6 at some point. King f7, bishop b4, rook c6. But then...
Okay, so rook d2.
Right. Then I start putting pressure. Maybe I can just protect everything with... No, I cannot, because after rook d8, bishop a5 is always... Well, no.
No, that's possible.
That's possible. And bishop e8 or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bishop e8, bishop c8. And this is what we are having, actually. Bishop b4, rook c6.
There are some tricks sometimes with e5 in these positions, but maybe not here.
Well, I think it will be not enough.
Knight a4 and d5 and
simply
nothing
these
happens.
pawns are so strong. So strong. Rook c6, knight e2.
Knight e2.
So white is regrouping the knight, but very slow.
Well, the knight on f4 is...
Yes, because if black goes away with the rook, then already white goes here and starts attacking on h5.
The h5 pawn could be under attack.
Now they are pretty balanced on time.
He doesn't care.
Pragnananda started to play fast, and Pranav is spending his time.
So what's the idea after knight f4, Judit? So I just want to collect
Maybe
the h5 pawn.
Yeah, but maybe just rook b5.
Ooh,
so
I didn't see that.
Defending.
Active way of projecting the pawn. I like
Actually,
that.
I like the rooks. I think it's underestimated the strength of the rook when it really goes up to the 5th or 4th rank. You know, many times I think it's we are not paying enough attention to those powers of the rook.
I like this rook lifts in the middle games via a3 and a4.
Yeah. Actually, there will be a very nice one, which in the next break I want to show.
Okay.
From that type, exceptionally beautiful. Where Prague was doing that. So
Pranav still
rook d2.
thinking.
No, rook d2 was played in order to play rook d1 to double, and this pawn can be in trouble.
Yes.
I think for black, maybe e5, bishop e6 could be
e5
an improvement.
that
I
gets me
understand
the
you got a
d5
heart
square,
attack because of this.
Yeah, I'm having one.
Yeah.
I want.
But you can go f5, so it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
I mean, I can't just sit and wait until you go rook d1 and take my pawn.
That's right.
I'm not sure though I have enough time. That's my problem. That's why e5 is helping
is just a
me.
move so difficult to play for a human being. He went a5, sacrificing the pawn.
a5, what's the point?
What's the point?
What's going on?
After bishop takes a5. Am I blind, Judit, or I can just take the pawn?
What is this?
I don't get anything.
What is the idea?
That's a pawn for free. I love pawns for free. They are more tasty.
But really?
The bishop is coming back to b4, so we're missing something probably.
I don't know. Let's go coming back next move.
Brack is also taking his time. Maybe he's not believing this move a5 because.
Well, for now, I think he just does not understand
He took
what's
it.
going on.
And d5.
d5.
That's Pranav idea.
So what's the idea? Takes and takes?
And somehow he wants to take on a3 with the bishop. Interesting.
Okay, I understand that the bishops now are open.
For example, if I
but
play
I can't believe
king
this.
a1 or something, and then the bishop comes back to c3.
I don't understand and I don't believe and sorry. Well, I understand that, for example, after rook d4, black goes rook a6, and then in the next move the a3 is taken. So let's go back. King a1 now. I don't like this move. Rook a6.
Yeah, and then after bishop c3, bishop a3, and there are some mating ideas.
Actually, it's not good yet because it's protected.
Ah, rook a2.
Bishop on c3 is protected. Though I don't like king a1. I'm not happy with king a1.
So how about king a2 then? So you don't mate me. d5, king a2.
I'm also not crazy about it, but it protects, right?
It protects. I mean, if I manage to take on d5, play bishop c3, and somehow...
Well, the question is, why don't you take on d5?
And then king a2, maybe.
And then king a2, but maybe rook a6 now. I'm not going to waste time taking back. I think I shouldn't.
Okay, then the position is very tricky.
Unless I can go d6.
That's also nice.
No, it looks not enough for me. I don't have a very good feeling for that.
He went bishop b4.
Why?
Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes.
He went for the safe thing, but I think he was maybe too safe.
But now I think black is perfectly fine, right?
Takes on d5.
The bishop is very active as well now by
yes,
f5.
But still, I mean, okay, white can go knight d4, which is nice. But can't you take?
Bishop e6.
Okay.
And then
rook
bishop
d2,
f5.
bishop f5.
I don't know.
Okay. It looks very tricky.
Yeah. Suddenly my king is
extremely
in deep trouble. Yeah.
because takes rook b6.
So I think I would play knight d4 after taking on d5.
Bishop b4. Okay, it's a blitz game. We shouldn't forget.
Yeah.
And look, Prague went down under a minute.
Yeah. Knight
3
to
minutes
g3.
of advantage for Pranav. And now I think he's doing very good. He's taking over in this game. Even I think d4 is possible to make.
Right.
And after, let's say, takes e5, look at this. Wow.
Yeah, you have tremendous
Rook a c3
counterplay
attacking.
against the white king.
Wow. So d4 is an option to give up.
d4, I want to suggest e5 after d4.
You can't stand this bishop being active.
Right.
Can't stand it. Yeah, e5 is a nice move. And after this, you want knight e4?
Knight e4 or rook e1, 2.
Yeah.
See, I don't believe it, but
Well, it's a big question how Pranav will react on knight g3. But here I think I can go rook c5.
yes, rook c5, and then you have same idea as rook a4, rook a5, or rook b5.
So let's see, d4. What else instead of d4? It's not so simple.
See, Pranav
Rook
with
c3.
2 minutes already.
What about rook c3?
Oh, that's beautiful. Can I go
What
rook
about
f1?
c3? Haha, I'm coming to
You're coming.
b5.
Oof, that hurts.
And that must hurt.
That hurts a lot.
Here and the d3 square. d4 is on the board
d4.
instead.
And now what do we do? He just took the pawn.
Took the pawn, e5. Black is taking over.
Yep.
Black is taking over. Look at this bishop, how powerful it's going to be. And rook c3 is there to attack
Okay.
also.
Then can I just play rook c1, intending to exchange a pair of heavy pieces?
Yeah, rook c1. Can't I take rook b3?
Oof.
You have to go rook f2.
I didn't see rook b3, to be honest. Rook g1, he is going for counterplay.
Well, he wants some check over there.
So on check, and then maybe bring the other rook. Still, you need a lot of
Looking,
tempi.
Bishop e6. Bishop e6, rook g7, king f8. But maybe rook f6, rook g6. What is going to be here?
Yeah.
Rook c4.
So maybe for the next game, some user is suggesting it is difficult for the spectators to distinguish which moves are in the actual game and which moves are just comments by Judit and Pepe. Wouldn't it be possible to use a second board for the analysis? We can talk to our producer, and then he can solve it for sure.
Well, now this is exactly the position which is played. And actually you can see when it's the real position where we have the green arrow. That was the last move.
Mm-hmm.
This is when we have exactly the live position. Otherwise it's not. So
Wow.
bishop c4.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Bishop d3.
So I just want to run away. King d2.
King
c1.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to run already 2 moves ahead.
I want to
because
fly.
You really want to be fast, right? You make a big step,
Right.
not a small step. You're just
If you
scared
give me
to
two
death.
tempi, I will go to d2 for sure.
But rook a6,
And now king d2.
d2.
You see, I'm already there.
Oh, no.
Rook g7. He played.
Rook g7.
But now is king f8, king. There's also some b3 ideas. b3 here?
b3, what do you want with b3?
I want to checkmate you. I want to checkmate you on c8.
King f8.
How about
B3?
b3? b3 is. Was that a genius move or was just a stupid move? He didn't go for it. He played rook
B3.
c7.
Well, rook c7 is also logical in some way, and now knight on h5 is not standing bad at all.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But okay, black should be going. Oh, but this is hanging on c4.
Yeah, this is hanging, so you're gonna do something about it. Bishop f7 maybe.
But then
But check.
And
And then check. Too many checks.
And then what?
And knight g7.
Knight g7, check.
And the
This
bishop
is not
f.
funny. So bishop f7 is not possible.
Yeah. Rook
Oops.
a4. He went
And
rook
now
a4.
you're b3.
b3.
But now
But then
this
bishop-
b3 is not that b3.
Right.
But still, it's a good b3.
Right. he went knight f6 and d3.
Okay, they have only seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So what do we want? 10 seconds for Pragnananda, 21 seconds for Pranav, King e8. Ooh,
And now
check,
knight
rook.
f6.
Oh, yeah, because after King d8, Rook d7 and Rook d3 would be the move.
Maybe this is a draw.
It can easily happen, but what about playing?
Knight
Oops, no,
f7.
I can't. Wow.
And
It
now
might have Pragnananda has 4 seconds. So now
I think
he's
this is gonna end in a
gained
draw. Yeah.
back.
And it did.
It did end in a draw. What a drama it was. I mean, it was very tense.
So I'm very curious. Was b3 winning?
We can see Prague, he still has this tension. Sits at the board, starts to calm down, think, what exactly happened here? I also got confused. Because it seemed like Black was doing fine. Let's see if we go back in time, completely to the opening. And we can see, you see, Prague is just spending his time at the board. I'm pretty sure, 100%, that he's still thinking and thinking about what was this, because probably he thought that before the end that it can be even more than a draw.
Right.
Then he started to have his rook on g7 and so on.
Yeah.
So in this position, I favored white in the beginning.
Yeah, maybe rook c1 here, prophylaxis.
Somehow I felt that he was playing, he wanted too much. He wanted everything, right? He wanted f3, he wanted to play g4, h4, bishop e2.
Yeah, without
And
paying attention to...
And after all, you don't necessarily have time for everything.
Maybe
right?
this is the key moment, right? Rook c1.
Instead of bishop e3, rook c1.
So after bishop d7, I can play queen d2. And then...
And then, yeah.
It's never easy to capture this pawn on c4.
But you could play instead of queen d2 also rook d1,
Yeah.
right? Though the question is,
h4
whatever I play, I
Yeah,
go
and then now
castle.
I want to continue my plan. You know, g5
But
maybe.
now this is still already hanging.
No, but you cannot take it, right?
Why not?
I take it with the bishop
And bishop
then
and knight d5.
knight d5, right?
Yeah, this is some tactical blunder, I can say.
Okay, maybe you can play queen b7 and you threaten the
this
same
way.
thing, yeah.
And not only the same thing, after that
So
b5. So queen d4, let's say, you're threatening to take on e5.
At the very least, you have knight c6 and knight back to e5.
That is also an alternative, but even b5 can be considered, I
Right.
guess. Takes, 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 takes,
And
takes,
then b4. And
Which color you take?
then, no, I take black here for sure.
Yeah. You were not hesitating much.
Yeah.
Without much of hesitation. So it's not so clear, even if you go rook c1.
Yep. So nice way he played. Knight e5, a6, bishop d7.
So because of this, I believe h4 was too optimistic, don't you think so? That in
Yeah.
here, after knight d7, maybe here he should go bishop e2, what we talked about, or even prophylactically rook c1.
Rook c1. I know it's
I would
very
go
hard to
bishop
play a
e2.
move like rook c1 here, right?
And after knight d5 to play bishop e3 maybe. Bishop d7.
But does it change much here?
No, because actually the pawn on a7 is just standing fine, and even the b6 is not hanging.
Right.
So it's not so easy.
Maybe one subtlety is just not to play f3. So to play your bishop e2 move, and then in order to go bishop e3,
You go
back and back
to
and
my
back.
bishop e2.
To first to move number 1.
Okay.
And then play c4.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I understand.
So whenever you go knight d7, I just go bishop e3. So
yeah, you go
you
the
cannot jump.
prophylactical before anybody
Too
goes
much
to
prophylaxis, maybe.
No, but king b1 anyway, you have to.
Yeah.
So you have time to go
Okay,
here.
rook c8.
Rook c8.
And now bishop e3. I know it's a very stupid move, like, but...
But in principle, we should wait knight e5. What about playing rook c1 and rook d1?
Right.
Well, it's interesting. Probably it's all theory.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out some things which exist already. I'm not sure. So what has happened here? g4, h4. White was very optimistic. Yeah, knight c4 takes x. This was a surprise, though. Do you think h5, after all, is a good way of doing it?
Maybe not, because
it's interesting that this is the
powerful
the powerful plan of bishop a5 and bishop b4.
Right.
Very
There's
nice
no way
plan.
to stop it, actually.
Why not? Bishop f6
Bishop
was
f6.
possible. But after bishop f6,
you
also
can even
bishop
take on
a5.
d6, yeah? In that position.
Yeah.
And then takes on c3,
Yeah.
and then I bring the other rook to d1. Suddenly you can be in trouble.
True. So h5, g5, f6, takes, bishop a5, bishop b4, knight e2.
Maybe your e5 move, followed by
You
f5.
You hated my
I hated it, but I hated it.
Because of knight c3 or
But then
knight
f5
d5?
maybe, as you were saying.
Well, after all, a Sveshnikov kind of position is possible to survive and gives trouble for white. Well, this is the question, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But okay, knight here.
Yeah, somehow looks tricky for black.
Black goes to f8.
And then rook g1.
Bishop d8 is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, the bishop pair can be annoying also from white side. Takes, possibly go bishop g4. Great outpost with the bishop. It's not so obvious. But here, after rook d2, a5, bishop a5, d5, here I started to like it for black.
Yeah. Because there were so many tricks.
Because I believe here black was doing very fine.
Even
And here you said something. Instead of d4, you had a suggestion, didn't you?
Here?
No, we talked about rook c3. What do you think about this rook c3?
Yeah, we were talking about this move, and then rook f1, bishop b5.
Yeah.
You suggested this rook c3. Looks very strong.
Rook c3, and if it takes, just
Rook
take
f3.
this, right?
Yeah.
No, I know these kind of positions. When bishop comes out,
Then
it's
the king
like a
is gonna
lion
suffer.
comes out from a cage.
Right.
You don't want to deal with it. But actually, what do you do on rook c3?
If I cannot play rook f1, rook f2 looks very sad as well. Bishop b5 is coming anyway.
But this can be a very big problem. So maybe Pranav had his opportunity here in this game.
Probably.
Because if the knight goes out, it will stay out there.
Yeah.
Even though bishop b5 is
Bishop b5
possibility
or rook
anyway.
f3.
I would. My plan was this, and after takes e5, and then the bishop
But
shows up on f5.
Can I go, instead of taking on d5, in this position, rook g1? But now you can take on e4 with the rook, right?
Well, takes.
And king f8 or king e8.
Well, this is hanging there, so it's a draw is not possible.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a question in this position whether this knight is weak or strong. No, it's like attacking, but somehow it seems like it's not enough.
Yeah. I think black is fine here.
And somehow this rook should be going
to the a file.
Yeah, but somehow it doesn't have enough space. Okay, so this was a very strong opportunity for black, it seems, to go rook c3.
Because after a couple of moves, It was white putting pressure.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's only seconds on the clock,
Yeah.
right? So they're so fast, the things happening.
This is the beauty of blitz.
Yes, that in any second, anything can make a turnover. D4, but actually I like D4 a lot too. But Rook G1, Rook C2. But after Rook C2,
maybe at some point you gotta trade pair of rooks and then you're never gonna be checkmated.
well, actually here maybe it was possible also to take
Yes.
and Rook B3.
Rook B3, same idea. After Rook G7, just King F8 and you cannot move.
Well, yeah, you can.
Ah, yes,
Maybe
you
not.
can.
Well, Rook F3, Rook F6.
Yeah, looks like a draw, yeah?
Yeah. But after that, I believe your B3 was a point for white.
I think so, yeah. What
Rook
was
C, Rook
here,
check,
right?
And
B3.
here you said B3.
B3.
Wow. But it's not over. Bishop F7.
Bishop F7.
No, Bishop F7, you go check.
Check. Bishop E8.
It doesn't look good. It does not look good.
Still fighting.
And if Rook C7 and Knight G7 next.
Uh-huh. But can I start checking like crazy? Rook A1. No, not like crazy after King B2, no more checks.
Yeah, you don't have to check long.
Right.
No, there is no more checks. It's after Rook C8, Bishop E8. It's after B3. Was it over?
Maybe.
Maybe it was over, yeah?
I don't see a defense. Do you guys see how to defend with the black pieces here, guys?
Bishop E6.
Bishop E6. Ah, you covered the
Bishop
C8
E6.
square.
You just frightened me with
Yeah.
this B3. I chickened out. I said, oh my God, I'm losing.
Was all
I
bullshit.
get it. And black just goes back to E6 and nothing happens.
You cover C8 and,
You opened up your king.
and black is better probably.
Well, it seems like black is doing fine, right? And the B3 pawn
Okay, I
is
can
a
say that I
weakness.
tricked Judit Polgar by just attacking
Just
her
playing
bishop.
B3. So he went Rook C7, Rook A4.
Rook A4.
Knight F6, D3.
This is the...
I'm not sure this is a draw.
Because you wanted to go Rook G2, but the thing is
Rook
you
A1,
never...
but Rook A1 check.
Rook A1 and Rook B2 and then...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then white is in trouble.
And you're not even threatening Rook G8 because it's square is covered, but...
No, it was not a bad game. It was a fun game. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Praggnanandhaa is leading 1.5 to half against Pranav. Prag is the favorite. He took the lead, and this is what you see on the screen also. And we have the next game, game 3 of the first match, just in about 20 minutes. And we are going to get back just after a short break.
Sure. See you.
Welcome, everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
Hello everybody, I am Grandmaster David Anton Guijarro.
I'm Magnus Carlsen.
My name is Anish Giri. I am a top grandmaster.
I'm Grandmaster Nils Grandelius from Sweden.
I am Grandmaster Harikrishna Pendala from India.
This is John. John loves to study chess. This is David. David loves to study chess as well, but efficiently. John spends more time setting up the board and figuring out what's on the page of his book than he gets to study. David likes to take it easy and use his time wisely. David has finished his exercise for today. John should try the same.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses. It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Welcome everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
Hello everybody, I am Grandmaster David Anton Guijarro.
I'm Magnus Carlsen.
My name is Anish Giri. I am a top Grandmaster.
I'm Grandmaster Nils Grandelius from Sweden.
I am Grandmaster Harikrishna Pendala from India.
wisely. David has finished his exercise for today. John should try the same.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses. It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Welcome everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!
Hello everybody, I am Grandmaster David Anton Guijarro.
I'm Magnus Carlsen.
My name is Giri. I am a top grandmaster.
I'm Grandmaster Nils Grandelius from Sweden.
I am Grandmaster Hari Krishna Pendala from India.
This is John. John loves to study chess. This is David. David loves to study chess as well, but efficiently. John spends more time setting up the board and figuring out what's on the page of his book than he gets to study. David likes to take it easy and use his time wisely. David has finished his exercise for today. John should try the same.
Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses. It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Silecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
Welcome everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops.
Okay guys, so we're back for the third game of this match with Pranav in a must-win situation, Judith.
Absolutely, it's a must-win situation for Pranav, and he's playing with the white pieces, and they started already with the Rai Lopez again. So a6, bishop c5, c3, and in this position in the first game it was d4, what was played by Pranav, but this time he wants to go for a longer, tense game with all the pieces on the board, so he went castle, d4, of course, it's a very typical. That's the main thing in the Rai Lopez, right? To have this center of pawns, d4 and d4. Bishop g5, provocation. Bishop e3. Let's see how this provocation will benefit white. Because, of course, the position is different when you have your pawn on f6.
Right? Now diagonal is open, right, for the bishop on b3, but the king can always go to h8.
That's what it does. Knight bt2, d6. Of course, now the players are developing. h3 is a move which 99% in the Ruy Lopez positions you're going to see it on the board, because bishop g4 is something that white does not want to see, but also sometimes white wants to regroup the knight through h2. Bishop d7, knight f1, e takes d4. This I'm always surprised, because this is a committal move, right?
Right.
To take,
give up
the
center.
center. d5.
Wow, it looks like Prague is still in prep. Knight g3, and we can reach a similar kind of position, an isolated pawn structure once again.
But please, nobody should forget about the fact that the pawn on f6 is not going to go back to f7.
Right.
If it's there, it has its problems. The e6 square is weakened. If he's going to go f5, then e5 square is also weakened. So this f6 move does not fit, generally speaking, into these kind of positions. So I'm not sure that after having the pawn on f6, this d5, I would like it for black.
All right, so Prague now thinking, so it looks like he's out of the preparation.
Well, finally.
Finally.
It's move 15. Move 15. Interesting enough that knight g3 was played. White was not even considering to take on d5 because of knight b4 or knight e7. And white would not be able to stop black taking back on d5 the pawn. And of course the knight on d5 blockading the d4 pawn would be exceptionally well placed. So knight g3 is a very logical continuation. D takes e4 was taken, knight e4. So what do you think about this bishop on a7? Is it a good one or a bad one?
Good question, yeah. It's putting pressure against d4, but it looks like d4 pawn is super well protected now by 3 white pieces, the bishop, the knight, and the queen on d1. And there could be some tactics as well by some d5 at some point.
Very easily it can be the case. I like it with white. Unless black is very fast, making moves like f5, f4 or something.
We see these bishops on a7 in their Kangel variation many times. Knight e7 now, knight c3.
Knight c3. This knight is funny. It went to d2, f1, g3, e4, and now I guess it's not going to go back to b1.
To complete the tour, yeah.
Actually, this is the way you see the logos of the Champions Chess Tour, and also I think the Challengers Chess Tour. That those moves, which you see right behind me also, it's part of a move. And that's how the graphic is designed. As you see, this is how we can make the maneuvers highlighting. So knight c3, what's the idea? Knight c3 is important to control the d5.
So the first move that comes to my mind is bishop takes a4 followed by knight d5, but queen b3 was a little bit annoying for me there.
Always. This queen b3 is always in these kind of positions. Basically the main weapon to make unpleasant moments for black.
Because if you take on e3 or c3, then you fix my structure, right?
Well, even white can capture this, but maybe rook e3 is also good, and I will repeat it. That the e6 is very weak, and of course the g6 knight is also kind of tricky. It's not very active unless it can reach to f4 and have an attack. But with the pawn on f6, even those attacks, the queen is blocked from d8. So it's f6 gives a lot of different touch to the game.
Like a nightmare, yeah. Like you're giving so many reasons.
It is simply a completely different position. When you see a structure with f6 or f7. And I remember when I was a teenager, I was not paying attention that much in many of the positions. Okay, it's one pawn.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
One move here, one step ahead. But there are, trust me, trust us, that the e6, I don't know if I told you yet, the e6 can be very weak. Okay, so let's see, happened, bishop takes a4, takes.
And rook
knight f5. Rook d1, very good placing the rook.
And rook e8.
Rook e8.
Okay.
Time is very balanced for the players.
That's right.
This is important, I think, to play rook e8, because now the bishop on a7, knight on f5, rook on e8, it stops white playing d5. So black is making sure that white is not going to get too active.
And queen b3, that makes a lot of sense, putting pressure against b7. You can never want to go b6 in this position, of course. That would be a terrible move, just blocking this bishop on a7.
No. You don't want to block that bishop, but b5 also something you don't want to play because of other weaknesses, right? So it's a big question whether should black go knight d6.
Bishop b6 is another alternative, but then maybe knight a4
knight
is...
a4, but even knight d5 I like this queen very much on b3, putting pressure on two directions. Rook b8.
Rook b8.
But we should not forget that Pragnananda is leading 1.5 to half, which means that if this game is going to be a draw, so he does not have to win, he would be scoring the first match point in this 4-part of match.
I like this move, Rook b8, very flexible. You don't commit.
Well, out of the options.
I mean, out of the options,
is the best, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Visually, it doesn't look nice.
Right. But I'd rather play Rook b8 than b5 or b6, right? Or even Bishop b6.
Yeah, that I fully agree. So the question is how white is going to be taking advantage or taking initiative.
Because you have your pieces well coordinated in good positions, but now how to proceed, yeah? How to attack weaknesses. Knight d5.
Knight d5.
Knight d5. So what are you threatening with this knight on d5, Judit? What's your idea if I just go, for example, c6? Maybe just to go back and then give me...
After c6, well, it seems like I will go back. I mean, I can try to be smart, but I don't see anything else.
Yeah, that is my point. So, because knight f4, once again, all these simplifications...
Well, but first...
Yeah, you take on e3, you take on f4.
Well, or knight g6 first. Probably white is going to go something like this and then...
Yeah, and then g5.
Look at that bishop.
Yeah.
It's
a bad bishop, but then at some point this bishop can be regrouped by a b8.
Okay, so knight d5. c6 is very logical, but that is obviously white is provoking. Black played queen d6. This is what Prag said and did in the first game also. He liked to put his queen on d6, and actually I like the queen on d6.
And this stops knight f4 as well.
Also, yeah. Yeah, and the question is whether in the next move how he wants to go, because rook d8 maybe is still not possible because queen b7 and the a7 bishop is hanging.
Right. But maybe you want to proceed with c6, and now knight f4 is not possible.
That can easily be the case. Yeah. Actually, I was surprised on knight d5.
Yeah, me too.
What about going back with the bishop? Is it very bad?
Rook e1?
Rook e1.
And
the d4 is hanging.
Right.
No, sorry, this was not a good idea. I did not like knight d5.
Yeah, it looks like you have to retreat that knight at some point in the near future. So.
Yeah, but that's not what you want, right? To go back. I mean, when you.
But I mean, you're not attacking anything from d5, so that's why I didn't understand this move.
Well, you can make some provocation playing rook c1.
And after c6?
Knight b6.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's good. Probably it's not, because you just taken knight
and
e7.
Then occupy the d5 square, right?
Yeah.
This is the kind of position that I'm dreaming with the black pieces, I believe.
But I don't like white's position after queen d6 at all. Black has already nearly 2 minutes of advantage in time.
I don't find a reasonable move. I mean, the best thing I can find is knight back to c3.
Well, if we wouldn't see that it was move knight d5, you would say confidently, right? Yeah, let's go knight c3 back and make some space for the pawn, right? But we can't say that.
But psychologically, it's even more difficult for white to go back knight c3 after having played knight d5.
At the same time, the good chess players admit their mistakes.
Yeah.
and they go back.
Right.
But here, I think it's impossible
it's
to
impossible
admit.
to admit it.
No, because it's so painful. I mean, you will play some other move first. I don't know what.
But what other move? I mean, it's not even
Maybe
easy
queen
to
c4.
mention.
I go queen c4, you know?
Queen c4.
Queen c4, so I provoke c6, and then I go back knight c3.
He went bishop d2.
Bishop d2. Okay, bishop b4 can be a plan.
But I mean, can I just take the pawn?
I know, you are hungry.
No, but you take with the bishop, yeah? Maybe. Maybe that's his idea.
Okay, rook e1. Well, let's face it, this bishop is not necessarily standing so much better on e1 than
that's
e3.
right. The point is he had to make a move, and then he didn't want to go back to c3, so...
Yes. Indeed. So what about c6 now? Knight goes back, after all, to c3. But I'm wondering if this
can I take that guy on d4?
Yeah, this is my question as well.
Support the piece by playing c5?
But there's another question, whether instead of rook e1, can't black take bishop or knight d4? Let's say knight d4, you take.
Yes. There's
Bishop
some
takes.
b7 pawn hanging, right? So let's say takes and queen
Takes,
b7.
Takes, queen b7.
He actually took on e1.
He took on e1.
But I mean, black has to be perfectly fine here.
Yeah. I'm also pretty sure about that. Also knight f4 is possible, by the way.
Even
Simply
c6
fine.
and then
Or
knight f4.
e7. c6 and knight f4, right?
Yes. Looks already tricky, I mean.
You would rather play it with black, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, black is doing fine. And the a7 bishop, after all, is not a weak or badly placed bishop, after all. Queen d7.
That's too deep for me, Judith.
What is this
Go. I don't understand this move. Maybe to go knight d6?
Well,
just to play very solid?
It's possible. Prophylactical, so bishop b4 is not coming with the tempo. Well, it is very clear that he does not want to play c6. He just says, no, I'm not going to play that move to make you happy. It's also psychology many times, that you simply don't want to give the things what your opponent wants, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter if how good it is, it's just a principle question. You know what he wants? He played queen d7 to play knight e7 next, so against bishop b4.
But
so actually it has its idea and
you trade those pair of knights and then you put a knight on d5.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You have a great position.
You can hardly have a nicer position positionally than that.
Right.
Nice move, queen d7, by the way. Because there is no rush. If white goes bishop b4, it doesn't make any sense, and rook d8 is possible already.
Yeah.
Because it's not hanging on b7, right?
Exactly. So then, how to proceed now?
Queen c4, this is what we talked about, right?
Everybody's trying to provoke c6 and
yeah, this is the main idea for white, that provocation.
But I still don't see the point. I mean, what's the problem after playing c6?
After c6, white comes back and
you,
d5.
You have the d5 break.
And the d5 break.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, I understand. You want to go here and after d5. But okay, takes, rook d8, knight c3 back. e6 is weak.
Finally, he went for c6.
c6, knight c3. So let's see from which angle he's going to be playing towards the d5 square. Knight f4, knight e7.
You can play knight d6 as well.
Knight d6, of course, it's not optimal for black, I think. But it's an option.
No, what I want
also
to do is to
d5.
respond after d5 with c5 and then...
But I'm not sure it's so good. if I can manage to play bishop d2, rook e1, and put my rook
once
on
again,
e6.
no, we're just hoping to play c5, b5, c4, and then use the majority on the queen side.
So c6, knight c3, what black is going to be playing? Actually, b5 is not something that I would be completely against, I think, by now.
And even more if I manage to take
board.
the pawn on d4, because you gotta protect it, otherwise knight takes d4 followed by c5 looks fine for black.
Yeah, so b5 is on the board.
And if you have to go to d3, then knight f4 comes with a tempo, yeah?
Knight f4, queen e4.
And even knight d5 here looks fine.
Knight d5 is possible, but maybe there can be something else too. Well, knight d5, it's possible, because look at this bishop on e1.
Exactly. So
I mean, it should be on d2, rook should be on e1.
He went for queen b3. He doesn't protect the pawn, and now my question is...
because he has to be taking risks.
Right.
I mean, what can he lose? It's double or nothing right now.
He needs to play an unbalanced position, but now, can I just take this guy?
g4.
Right, but maybe I can take with the knight b4.
So after queen b3, if you
Knight
take
takes.
with the knight, then yeah, it's a question. Well, takes.
I was thinking about queen b4.
Rook d8.
Rook d8, right? Looks fine for black.
Yeah, it seems like white is impossible to take the bishop, because after it's even some material loss. Before queen b4 I was able to play that, and black has to go c5, bishop c3, let's say. It can be more pleasant for white, and this is the position what we have on the board after c5, bishop c3. Okay, so this is what we have. Must-win situation for Pranav with the white pieces, and he has just a little bit more time, but still both players has less than 3 minutes, so they are heavily in the blitz part of the game.
So once again, the e6 square could be the key point of the position.
Well, at some point, if let's say the knight reaches out to e6, and the question is whether a knight can be activated somehow through e5.
Yeah, for example, now knight e5, and after bishop takes d4, can I go rook d8?
You can.
The idea is just to go knight c6 and grab the pawn.
Wow. But I can go rook d2.
Rook d2, and now you force me.
Not exactly. You can go
c4.
knight c4, and if you want to go on my nerves, or even after, yeah. But white can go queen h3, for example. This is the...
Okay.
Rook e8.
Rook e8. He wants to force him to take with the knight on d4, which makes sense, because you cannot use the e6 square.
I'm not sure if I take bishop.
And rook e2? What's going on?
Wow.
Is that?
I don't know.
Rook d2, rook d2. Still surviving.
Wow.
But...
You're not happy?
No, I'm not happy.
I was also thinking about playing this and trapping your lovely rook with just a simple small move like rook king f1. And what about the back rank over there?
Yeah, too many problems.
Knight d4 is on the board though. So because maybe he just wants to have the bishop on the board.
But now the e6 square is not playing an important role anymore. No. Guys, I'm using my laptop just to read the chat, to have you guys there.
So black probably goes queen e7 or something.
Yeah, don't go queen e6.
Queen c6 is possible. Well, queen e6, no, this is not going to be the blunder.
Right. Background problems.
Young talent Prague is going to be making. Actually, for him, it was a great opportunity after he won the Champions, the Challengers Chess Tour, because after that he got into the Champions Chess Tour, where he was able to show his ability already with the very best players in the world. So it was a great opportunity created by the Play Magnus group and the Challengers Julius Baer support. Rook e1, look at that.
Ooh,
simplification.
Beautiful. So now...
Simplification.
So what do you prefer, queen and knight or queen and bishop in this position?
Generally, I would, of course, more for queen and
Queen
knight.
and knight?
I'm more knight person. From everywhere. And knight e5. So look at... no. This is rook, bishop, rook. Rook is attacked.
It's still not losing. Knight f3, knight takes e4.
No, but queen on b3.
Uh-huh.
So actually here black should go back. But this is a real weakness because knight goes to e5. But they simplified, and I must say that I don't think that there is so much chance for white, though the a6 pawn is still something white can hope for. At the same time, once the knight shows up on f4, not too much good thing can happen to white. But let's see.
So you have now two options, queen d1 or queen a7 to protect the pawn.
If you want to protect the pawn.
If you want to protect it, of course.
You want it?
Not sure.
Queen d3. You see, he doesn't want to protect because he wants, but what does he want? Knight f4? Queen on d3 stands good actually because it covers the f5 square, protects the b5, at the same time gives an option for checks and knight e2 and then mate on g1.
You have also the idea of queen g6.
Queen e4.
Queen
also.
e4 as well.
Give a check and exchange, grab the bishop.
Yeah, the queen is very far away from the actions.
And look at this. Now the f6 is a completely different story. Actually, it blocks the bishop's power from c3. So now it's good to have the pawn on f6.
Right.
Maybe it was better to exchange the bishop instead of the knight.
So
let's see. What
maybe
he has in mind.
g3, but to stop all knight's jumps, but maybe, yeah, g3 looks...
I'm not sure b4 is not possible, sacrificing and come here. Is it possible or it's too much, you think? Going
well, it looks
here.
dangerous, but...
Maybe it's not enough, yeah, because after check you go king here.
And then we control the e1 square with the bishop.
Yeah, and somehow it seems like everything is protected, right?
Okay, Pranav has only 50 seconds in the clock.
But he has to win, so he has to create something. While Prague has 25.
He went for g3, prophylaxis.
So Prague is going down in time. 15 seconds on the clock. 14, 13,
Only
12,
10
11,
seconds.
10 seconds
You gotta
left.
move, my friend.
9, 8, 7, and
Knight
he
e5.
made his move, knight e5.
I like that. Just to simplify the position, after bishop takes, pawn takes, then there's some queen b1.
Because in some way or another he wants to grab back the pawn.
Yeah, very nice move. Minimizing the risks.
Yeah, and the knight, of course, is giving hard time for white and giving a check. Or actually, maybe queen e4 is the biggest threat.
Queen a6, he took.
Queen a6, knight f3, king g2 only move, queen e4.
Or
must
queen d5.
be to move. Or queen d4 is centralization.
Like that, protecting the pawn as well.
And this is impossible that white would win this
I mean,
game.
with that queen so far away from the action.
And look what a harmonious play for black. The queen on d5 in the center, blocking the f5 square. It gives such a powerful queen d1 check. He's going to go, he's professional. He goes check and goes back.
Right. Now there's no way to escape.
He does the job as it should be done.
h4.
Well,
how about
course,
knight takes h4?
That's going to be the move, I guess.
King h3 or
well, king h3, queen
h1, king g4,
f5
f5 looks like mate.
I'm not sure you want to end up like this. Draw is a better result.
Yeah. Queen d3 and knight f3, and now the bishop is hanging, so black is going to win the game.
You know, it's better to make a draw in such a case is not to lose. But I completely understand the frustration of the young man. And, well,
Prag takes the first point.
Yeah, it is so nice to see them rivals talking, discussing about, why didn't I play that? And the other one is thinking, well, I don't know, I was calculating this, and this. So this is a very typical scene after the game, though I must say that it's also very nice because after a loss, not everybody is so cool and calm and ready to discuss. But I think what I experienced in Chennai when I was in India, those youngsters, they have a very healthy rivalry between each other. And of course, Pranav, I'm pretty sure that he came here to win. At the same time, you cannot forget about the objective facts, because in chess we have the ELO system, and of course when you are lower, more than 100 rating points than the other one, you can still hope for a shorter time control, with you have a good day, and so on and so forth, but you know that you have to be focused and also a little bit lucky.
Right.
But it is nice to see them discussing the games of today. We had 3 games, and the first one was already won by Pragnananda, which was a very important win, especially that we looked at in the opening middle game section of the game, that probably it seemed that Pranav had a fantastic opportunity by sacrificing a little material for the moment when he gave up already a pawn. So that was kind of a painful loss for Pranav with the white pieces. After that, in the second one, Pranav again showed his talent by sacrificing a pawn and took over the initiative, but somehow Prag was ready to shuffle things and he managed to make a draw. And then in this game, of course, the result should have been a draw, but because Pranav was really pushing extremely hard and played for double or nothing, then this was the reason why
I think
he lost
we
the
have
game.
Prag here and Pranav, so I think everybody wants to hear Judit. So I think I will leave my place to you. Prag, congrats.
Yeah, we are going to have the winner here just in a second to explain the games of today. The first match victory with Pragnananda. We had these 3 interesting games. Hi and welcome here in the studio. Congratulations of today's victory. Of course, there are 3 more matches. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think he played quite well today. I don't think the games were easy. The first and third game, they were both quite complex.
I would like to ask you, because we're discussing it with Pepe, that in the first game, how did you feel around here when you were not forced, but you played b5, bishop b3, and you captured the pawn?
No, I was thinking that I should be safe here, but then I spotted this knight f7, and then I somehow panicked. But then I was just lucky that he just went knight g4. I'm not sure. Is knight f7 like so good for white?
It seems like knight f7 gives an advantage for white. When did you realize it? When
no, while he was thinking.
Ah, okay. So it's not that when you took the pawn and immediately you realized it, but it took some seconds.
Yeah, well, it took me some time. No, I was missing this rook e6. I think probably he also missed it.
Yeah, the problem is that not rook e7, but rook c6 is the move. And rook a8.
But why not rook e7?
I think after rook e7 takes rook c4.
Oh, okay.
And black
I
can
didn't
save
spot
it.
all this, but yeah, I was just thinking about it, but then he went knight g4. I was just having a
before you could panic longer.
Yeah, probably it was good.
Yeah.
No, but if I had seen knight f7, I would have probably played something else. Maybe knight d4 here.
Yeah. Probably queen c7 and knight g4, I guess.
Yeah, but it's probably better than allowing knight f7. So,
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end you were very precise towards the end.
Yeah, after knight g4, I think it's already
Which
not
was
easy
the point where you felt that you're going to take the full point? Was it already right after in this position?
No, here I felt, yeah, why black is probably better, because his king is quite weak. and have this knight on g6, which is very safe. And here I think rook e8 doesn't work. I thought.
Yeah, you just take.
Yeah, just take on e8, and then I think this knight on g6 is quite important for that.
Yeah, you defend completely.
Yeah. If he doesn't have it, then it's not easy at all.
But did you feel that you're going to collect the full point already at this stage, or you were just?
I was not sure because we both were quite down on time, so I knew anything can happen, and I also knew he's very good at blitz, so it was not easy at all.
Yeah, this was a nice finish.
I think knight f3 was very important. Otherwise, it was just tricky.
Yeah, but I see that in many of your games that it's one of your strengths that you have a winning position and you just sharply play the best winning move.
Yeah, in some games, but in some games I mess things up very badly.
Okay, so how was game 2? Because that was also gave us a lot of thoughts how it was working out after the opening. For example, what do you think about the opening itself? Because we felt that maybe it was a little bit slow, that you wanted to get everything, g4, h4, bishop e2.
Also the pawn on a3 played a role, I think, because somehow the pawn structure is not ideal placed. Like I cannot play b3 so ideally. Okay, here there is b5, but in other cases, let's say if I manage to defend
of rook d4, let's say, to
yeah, but I
knight c6,
knight c6, and then maybe knight a5 also. I wasn't sure.
And what were your feelings after queen b3? Were you happy with your position
No,
entering
not at all.
into endgame?
I thought black should be okay. I mean, I thought it should be around equal because I also have this plan of bishop a5, bishop b4. I thought which was quite important. Otherwise, I thought black is much better. Double bishop and open b file.
Was it unpleasant when you faced yourself with h5, or you were expecting that?
Not really. I thought I thought d6 is weak, and if I get bishop a5, bishop b4, I didn't think it was
this position. What do you think about his sacrifice of a5?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it before he played, but somehow it was not easy for me to face it. Like, yeah, I have probably a lot of moves where white should be fine.
Bishop b4, we were surprised that I think king a2 or something like that.
Yeah, rook a6, I think.
And bishop c3?
Bishop b5.
Bishop b5.
I wasn't sure. I mean, with less time, anything can happen because then he gets bishop c4 and some bishop a3 tricks in the line.
True. Yeah, it started to be a little hot.
Yeah, I think this a5, bishop a5, d5 was a very good practical decision.
Yeah.
And I just decided, okay, I'll just trade this one.
Here, did you see rook c3?
I was thinking about rook b3, but I don't know what's the difference. Okay, bishop b5 is the idea. Okay. Okay, I didn't see the difference.
Yeah, this was very unpleasant for white.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty balanced game, we can say, with the draw, right?
Yeah. Okay. Things were still complicated afterwards. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was happening because we both were quite low on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. First, I thought I missed a win somewhere here. Like
I
rook
had
c7.
the feeling that you had somehow the feeling that you were going to win the game, right?
I mean, I thought my king is okay. It's not safe, but here it somehow felt that he's kind of defending on c4 and just feels that he doesn't have any threat. Yeah, but okay, this d3 and somehow I'm not able to do anything.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you go into the last game with what mindset when something like this happens to you? When you're leading in a match situation like this?
Yeah, I think this Champions Chess Tour whole season was a very big experience in such match format. I also played in San Francisco last month, so I think it's good to have such experience so that when this situation comes, can be prepared. And I knew that it's not going to be an easy game, and I shouldn't be getting relaxed anytime soon. And I just wanted to keep the focus and try to play my best.
Yeah, but it's not very easy, right?
Yeah, it's not easy at all.
And then
I lost, like I was having 2-0 lead against Danish in last month, and then I lost the last 2 games and lost in tiebreak. So I knew that anything can happen.
Yeah, painful things like this happen, but you're extremely young. So for now, you're collecting the experiences, apart from some great results, I must say. What do you think about the fact that you played f6 and after f6 to play e takes d4.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew all this till d5.
Is this all theory?
I wouldn't say it's a theory, but I looked at it. Because these moves are quite natural for white.
Yeah.
And I thought d5, okay, black is, it's an interesting position. And here I felt black should be fine.
I was kind of worried because of the e6 square.
Yeah, but it's not easy for him to move the e3 bishop and kind of get access to it, because d4 is always hanging.
Yeah. But after rook d1, rook e8, queen b3, rook b8, knight d5 was suspicious.
Yeah, I also felt so, but it definitely confused me. Because yeah, c6, I thought knight f4.
Yeah, it was clear that you went queen d6 to stop knight f4.
Yeah,
right?
here I was, I'm not sure if it works, but I was panicking again to see knight e5. There is a move knight e5, yeah?
Knight e5?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people saw this
Yeah,
as just an alternative.
No, I just got a panic attack, and I still don't know what to do, because takes and he takes on a7, and then b7 hangs.
Well, it's hard to imagine that this can be really.
Yeah, I was
what if rook
trying,
e8?
I mean, takes rook e5 and take b7. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was trying something like
c6,
this. Knight c3, or maybe to e3 as well.
Kind of funny. Can't you go knight f3?
Maybe.
I was thinking knight f3 and knight h4, but knight e3 can be coming back, right? Knight e5. Wow.
Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know, but I couldn't find a way, and
what
it was like a similar reaction when I saw knight f7. I was just panicking.
Knight d5 is beautiful. But probably c6 was just okay as well.
Yeah, c6. Yeah, that's why I was just regretting myself.
Overprotected. Because I mean, you can even take on e3 or take.
Yeah, I felt maybe knight e3, black is maybe slightly worse because of bishop on a7.
Yes,
if I get
this is
c5,
what takes and f takes e3.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Maybe if I get c5, black should be okay.
Really? You would go c5?
I mean, not here, but I mean like queen
Later.
e7.
Yeah.
c5, c5.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. My king was weak.
Well, also you can go queen e7, rook goes away, and bishop b8 potentially.
Yeah,
right?
also that.
It does not look so.
Also, maybe queen d5 is there.
Yeah, it's safe. Okay, so this knight e5 is has to be checked. I'm still shocked.
No, I thought queen d6, and I thought like, what is knight going to do? But then this knight e5 kind of shocked me.
Well, in worst case, you can go rook f8, right?
But I wasn't sure. I think takes and bishop f4 was coming. Okay, it's at least not what I want from that position.
Not exactly when you play queen d6, just to calm down,
Yeah.
just to simplify. Nothing. There is nothing. No knight f4, no bishop f4, no nothing, and then knight e5 comes to. Yeah, quite impressive. But maybe you cannot take simply.
Yeah. Maybe there is some computerish way that holds, but I couldn't find it.
Wow. That's impressive. Did you ask him?
Yeah, I asked him. I think he missed it as well.
He missed it as well, yeah. So what was the point later on when you were convinced already that you're going to...
Yeah, sometimes it happens to me that when I'm in this situation where draw is okay, I kind of try to simplify. I think it's just one of those things which I shouldn't do. Because instead of knight d4, maybe I can play knight f4, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very nice position. At the same time, you know, you can also say that you don't want to waste energy when from sportive point of view you have to make it's not that you have to make a draw, but if you see that when you simplify it just goes to drawish. Yeah,
I thought it was drawish, but I don't think it's so easy for black, because okay, what I got in the game, okay, if I move my queen, I thought queen d1, and then I wasn't sure because this rook is coming to the 7th rank.
But anyway, you can go some knight f4 stuff, right?
Yeah, it's possible, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, knight on f4 seems to be pretty,
maybe queen c7 is strong.
Pretty good.
I was trying to put it on a light square, let's say on
c6.
c6.
Queen c6.
But then queen d1, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because the rook is standing well on the fourth rank. You don't have these squares for your knight. Oh, I wouldn't worry too much on.
Yeah, I also felt so. That's not so much.
But rook e1 was probably simpler, making some weaknesses. Yeah, I mean here with the knight.
Queen a6, knight f4. I felt there should be enough counterplay.
Yeah, and this was well. After this, there was
he could take a draw, but
it happens many times. Okay, well, congratulations for your first day victory, and good luck for tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Still 3 more matches. So
yes,
a lot of things.
Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you.
So now we have the first day finished with Pragnananda winning 2.5 to 1.5, which looks extremely convincing on the cross table, but it could be 2-1. That would have been the realistic end of the result. But of course, at this in these situations, it happens most of the time that the player who has to win, they go on and force matters the way that actually instead of a draw, they make a loss. And we can say that we had some very interesting games running today, I must say. It was a great joy to see these two youngsters play and show their ideas.
I agree, and I'm very curious to see what they prepare for tomorrow, if they'll stick to the same openings or they will change completely. So I don't know, Judit.
We'll see Pragnananda playing with the white color first, because today we've seen Pranav playing 2 whites, and tomorrow it's going to be a switch because it's a 3-game rapid match with 10 minutes and 5 seconds as it was today. And only in the third day we are going to switch to blitz form 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So we will see how the players are prepared for tomorrow, and also in what form the youngsters are good at blitz, because this is kind of semi-rapid,
classical
right?
chess.
Yeah, it's like
this is too slow.
Exactly. Well, anyway, it was great to be here with you today.
Same.
And I hope our audience enjoyed it, and also the tactics we showed from Pragnananda's previous games, and we are planning for tomorrow to show some of Pranav's tactics and good moves which he played beforehand this event.
Exactly, so it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for being there, out there in the chat, commentating, chatting with us, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place here in Tel Aviv. Take care.
See you tomorrow.
Welcome everybody.
My name is Jan Nepomniachtchi, former world chess champion.
Are starting a new course here for Chessable.
A very special Chessable course.
Master your chess with Judit Polgar.
You know what? I learned a lot.
Seriously? Checkmate! Aim Chess is an intelligent system that analyzes your game, prevents mistakes, and develops recommendations for improving your skill. Phew!